Modern day Africans and Egyptians are not ancient Africans and Egyptians. I can hear that everywhere across the world, but it is the truth. Michael tried to show you, the Carters tried to show you. I have been showing you, but there was a new video in here today, along with videos I have already put up to make more sense of what I've been trying to show you. And it has everything to do with religion, everything to do with King James and his jealous wife, Queen Anne. So when you hear the name Septimius Severus and that he was in Africa, it was Libya, which used to be part of Italy, and he was going home to help his people. On the surface, blackness asserts the cultural superiority of the English over non-European peoples and celebrates the patriarchal power of James, the Sun King of Britain, who can turn black skin to white.
Some 500 years ago, the Grand Canyon in Arizona has been a sight that has stunned humanity with its majesty. Now, the major tourist destination is also an important site for archaeological research for what is assumed ancient American history. But what many people don't know is that hidden within the caves of this incredible landmark lies evidence of none other than the ancient Egyptians.
Another place that people argue about is where is Canaan. So much information. These white hillbillies are out here giving you the whole tea. Thebes, they said it's Illinois. Egypt, Chicago. Egypt again, Mississippi. No. Did we not show them this the last time we did the video? The Puritans saw the land as a place where they could grow a new society free of the evils and sin of the old world. Where's old world? Okay. Where were the Puritans from? New World Order. Anywho.
It's something of a surprise.
It's just incredible. I can't believe I don't know about this story.
That's right, the first resident Britons were black.
10,000 years ago, Britons would have been black, according to groundbreaking
aspects of his appearance. This is not what scientists expected to find.
It's not. This is what scientists used to think he looked like.
Cheddar Man has long been believed to be the oldest known complete skeleton from a time when humans came to live in Britain.
The most important Roman who actually ever came to Britain was the African emperor, Septimius Severus.
Hold on.
Okay.
Are you telling me there was an African emperor?
And he was one of the greatest Roman emperors.
Said that he fails to see London anymore as being an English city. So do you agree with that, Mr. Roger? Well, in parts of London I do, yes.
The first thing he does is build the walls of Roman London.
Wow.
So the city of London to this day is defined by the African emperor Septimius Severus. This is a man who's there all the time. He's right in front of us all the time in the British Museum, but nobody knows unless you dig into the story.
The fact that that history was hidden from me, it made me want to uncover that history. In fact, many of those Romans
were from North Africa, a black man.
So no one would know that that was not a white man?
Absolutely. A warrior emperor from North Africa who stayed true to his own heritage.
This is just incredible.
Newly emerging evidence can bring us face to face with those first black Britons.
It was clear that she was actually sub-Saharan African in origin.
So she's a black Briton?
Yes.
It was very important for me to find evidence that there was such a history.
The Abbey says this is Queen Anne of Denmark, but didn't she blacken up in her book? So what's really going on?
Did you ever love me? Of course. And her?
Poor brain sick men, most jealous of their beauties, because he shone on their scorched cheeks with such temperate fires, and other dames made queens. Chop it up, and she, if you look in the corner, you see a little black face.
She was a little black one.
That's her slave. Now,
but didn't they say that she adopted a black youth?
Well, if she did, and it was these times, they would have craped up that black youth from her and told her to go sit somewhere. Because if you read the book, The Masquerade of Darkness, and the follow-up, The Masquerade of Beauty, in short, what she did, if you read certain pages in this play that she did, she says, basically she blackfaced with all her friends. Yeah. Do you want to know why she did that? Because the point that she was trying to make was she trying to put in a play for her husband.
She's saying that.
Who was James. Yeah, she's trying to keep his attention.
I'm going to kill her and her bastard son.
Also from the book, she calls her husband Neptune's son, and she says he reigns in Albion, which is Britain, where she says the Niger were first inhabitants of. originally Afro-Asiatics.
You do no such thing. Who's going to stop me? You? Before you took my hand in marriage, I was the queen of the heavens. I was the queen of the heavens.
The N-word, the Nigers. But what she says about them is they were what you would now call the Sahara Desert. So, a lot of people say there was a civilization there. It was then. And that's where they were. And what you have to understand is the Moors who were from Spain, or, the country, well, when they were exiled, a lot of them were sent to Northern Africa. So when you hear Northern Africa, it doesn't necessarily mean that the people are from there. They could have been from England. They could have been from Europe.
Italy. Then the entire Mediterranean basin.
The thing about the things that we think is due to the whole race thing. But one thing I didn't put to you is that what Queen Anne says in her book, she says that it's not about, she says clearly, complexion. She said it's about beauty. And then she changes the statues from what they are to previous statues of the Egyptians. She says because of their looks. Because in all honesty, Queen Anne, if you look at her, and if you understand why you're black and why you're white, it's melanin. And if we're going to get technical, Queen Anne had pheomelanin, or what you would call is oculocutaneous. And so there is no black and there is no white. So when we're arguing about whether black people live somewhere or white people live somewhere, it does have its context, but there is no black or white. And we can speak about all the things in between and the sulfur and somebody came to Earth. And
Do you know what the others say when you're frolicking on Earth? They mock you. I'm the one who reminds them what a great hero you are. I'm the one that keeps them in line. You were great during the war when there was a...
And that's why there's this issue in the genes, and it's seen as a genetic, From the book, The Mask of Blackness. But what's the end of thy Herculean labours that represents places like Mississippi, which you think is the devil? It's to do with magic. Do you see? Holding the dragon, foot on the crab. Do you see? Hercules at the top. Hercules and the Tritons are from here. See? Extending to these calm and blessed shores, to do a kind and careful father's part in satisfying every pensive heart of these my daughters, my most loved birth, who, though they were the first formed dames of earth. This is where they say in the times of Herodotus that earth was, which they also called Lower Egypt. Have you worked out where it is yet? With sparkling and refulgent eyes, the glorious sun did still delight to rise, though he, the best judge and the most formal cause of all dames' beauties, in their firm hues draws signs of fervent love, and thereby shows that in their blacks the perfectest beauty grows, since the fixed colour of their curled hair, which is the highest grace of dames most fair, no cares, no age can change or there display the fearful tincture of abhorred grey, since death herself being pale and blue, can never alter their most faithful hue. All which are arguments to prove how far their beauties conquer in great beauty's war, and more, how near divinity they be, that stand from passion or decay so free. And the Ethiopian is the goddess of their shore.
I was the queen of the heavens.
The Royal Asiatic Society, previously called the Oriental Club, also says here, the society extends far beyond India, all of Asia, and into Islamic North Africa and Ethiopia. Believe it or not, this is Queen Anne. She changed her religion to Roman Catholicism and embarrassed her husband, King James. And in this piece, she mentions transporting them into the hands of the Moor. Also in this piece, Shakespeare refers to the Egyptians as the Gypsies, likewise as the Oromo, who are part of the Kushite people. Many scholars have spoken about the Celts, who were black and from Ireland, most commonly known as leprechauns. Here's the thing that people don't understand about this genocide. Due to the way that people spoke, the snakes represent the Niger, the same Niger that Queen Anne speaks about in her book, The Mask of Blackness.
Probably the first African leader to be treated by white men as an equal. Now, in his old age, he's practically the incarnation of the history of our time. In Europe, the bloodiest of modern wars was being fought with tanks, machine guns and poison gas. But here, the centuries rolled back as if to King Henry at Agincourt, or Richard losing his crown at Bosworth Field.